It's called Cross-Pollination Tuesdays, hashtag Tuesdays. So there's a lot of choices that almost every day, every hour, every minute of our lives we're expected to make. And it helps if we're able to look within and also look across and see how other leaders, how other managers and change makers, thought leaders, and so on are approaching all these different choices that we all have to make, especially now that we live in a world that's more complex than what it used to be. Some people call it the VUCA world. VUCA in Zulu, my language, it's wake up, VUCA. But I've seen other thought leaders in the world calling it VUCA, VUCA, which acknowledges the fact that the world we live in now is very volatile, it's unpredictable, it's rapidly changing, and most of the time it's ambiguous. So those are the choices that we find ourselves in as we operate in the VUCA world. And I'm hoping that through these Cross-Pollination Tuesdays, we'll be able to engage on Facebook and also on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn and Twitter. So we're just making all these options available for all of us to connect. Yes, of course, we'll be recording this via Zoom and then share it on YouTube, which is where it's going to sit. So that even if maybe you missed any of the sessions, you can always go back to our Zoom, our YouTube channel and be able to connect. Right. So I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to all the new conversations we're going to have. Right. And the main idea is that we come up with these solutions and we explore what is it that we can learn from each other, through each other, and with each other. Right. So I'll be available throughout the process on this email address. This is my work email address, musa@knowledgeconnections.co.za. Right. The recordings are going to be shared every Tuesday, just after 6 in the evening. Between 6 and 6:30, we'll share them. Then they'll be available all the way through. And then every Tuesday thereafter, we'll have a new recording that we'll share from our YouTube channel and then share it via all these social media platforms that I've mentioned. So in total, if you count from this one, it's going to be a total of 12 sessions, which means this one and the last one on the 16th will be handled by us here in South Africa. And then the other 10 in between will invite 10 other pollinators from 10 different countries that we happen to have collaborations with. So I'm talking about people from our networks within the Climate Coaching Alliance, people from Designing for Social Innovation and Leadership, and also other coaches and mentors that we work with in other parts of the world, like in East Africa, in Rwanda and Uganda and Kenya. We're hoping to connect with people from India, Australia, Canada, the US, the UK. Other confirmations are still coming through. So, but for now, we try to be as inclusive as possible and take advantage of all the diversity that exists within our networks. And also we're hoping that through these sessions, we can connect with even more pollinators from other parts of the world that might not be represented in these sessions the way we've structured them. But yeah, so that's why I'm so excited and I look forward to all these things. So then we go to, so what can you expect? What is this all about really? What are the topics and so on? So we'll be looking at the concept of cross-pollination and what it seeks to introduce. And to help us do that, in the book, I'm a cross-pollinator, I brought in this quotation here from one of the thought leaders that I came across when I was doing the research for this book in 2019, from a book called 10 Faces of Innovation. Tom Kelly says, the cross-pollinator. So he was explaining what a cross-pollinator is, right? A cross-pollinator draws associations and connections between seemingly unrelated ideas or concepts to break new ground. Armed with a wide set of interests, an avid curiosity, and an aptitude for learning and teaching, the cross-pollinator brings in big ideas from the outside world to enliven their organization. People in this role can often be identified by their open-mindedness, diligent note-taking, tendency to think in metaphors, and ability to reap inspiration from constraints. So I think right there it describes, so because it describes what a cross-pollinator is. Because sometimes people tend to think that because the title of the book says, I am a cross-pollinator, it's just about me. It's not. It's not about me, the cross-pollinator. It's everyone who would say they fit this description here by Tom Kelly, right? So that is the first, that is the first thing. The second thing that I wanted to draw your attention to is we're doing this online and we're sharing it via social media platforms. So what are our intentions here? As we hold these sessions, what are the intentions that guide how we present them, how we engage, how we connect with you? The first thing is we want to deepen our connections with each other. 2, we want to shift perspectives, and then 3, we want to champion each other's work. So through your participation, your involvement, your contribution, it will help us achieve these 3 intentions here. So it's a benefit for all of us. Another thing, then we get to have a deepened understanding of the concept of cross-pollination itself and how it could potentially be applied in your own unique situation, whether it's at work or at home, in your personal space or other social spaces where you operate in. It's important for us to see, what does cross-pollination provide as an opportunity? In my case, I recognize everyone as a flower, and so, but then each one of us as pollinators, we then connect these flowers with each other. We connect them, and through those connections, we are able to help everyone to become fruitful in what they do. So whatever that work is, as long as it contributes towards positive change, then that's what the role of a cross-pollinator is. Everyone in the end becomes fruitful in what they do. So we are agents for positive change. As cross-pollinators, primarily, that's what our work is about. We unleash the potential of others through the coaching work that we do, the facilitation work that we do in workshops and seminars and so on, the talks that we give, and so on. So, but that's just in my case. There's many other types of pollinators out there in different roles, different organizations that are totally different from how Knowledge Connections is structured as a coaching firm, So I don't know what your unique setup is, but in our case, that's what it's about. So we are those kind of agents. We connect. We are connectors. We are catalysts. We are involved in processes of transformation to help others to be fruitful in what they do. And because for me personally, I subscribe to the notion that we should be actively involved in helping each other to become successful in what we do. And then moving along to the topics, therefore, that you can expect that you should expect as we do this work, right? The main thing is then to say, all of this contributes to growth and development for everyone involved, right? So there's no way you could be taking part in something like this and not experience the growth and development that it will come with. That's what it's all about. So all of this for me is about that upward trajectory that says we're growing together, we're learning, we're developing, we're becoming better people. And that continuous growth and development, we're taking a lot of people along with us. I've often heard people saying it's very lonely, it's very cold at the top. And my thing is, it's cold because you didn't take others along with you. You wanted to be at the top on your own. It's never as exciting if you are on your own, and you never even go far, really. If you want to really go far, you need to bring a lot of people along with you, you know, and grow together instead of just going alone, right? So I subscribe to that, and that's one of the things that we want to achieve out of this work here, you know. Another thing that we're looking at is, right, so we're looking at the whole world. This picture, by the way, this is myself in 2017 in November. We're on a field immersion trip in Southeast Asia. This was at the Impact Hub in Bangkok. I'm with a colleague here from Canada who was studying with us there when we were on that field immersion trip for designing social innovation, designing for social innovation and leadership. It's a course that I did with DSIL Academy back then. So we want to cover all parts of the world. So we'll invite different pollinators from 10 different countries, and through them, we're expecting that we'll be able to then connect with even more pollinators in other parts of the world. So all continents, hopefully, you know. So in these 12 weeks, that's why I'm so excited, is I know it's doable. We've done it before, even though the focus was a bit different. But so today, the idea was to introduce the concept of cross-pollination and also introduce Cross-Pollination Tuesdays, the spring series, how it's going to work and so on. So that's what we've just done now. And then as of next week, we go to Beyond Capitalism, right? That's a topic we're going to talk about. We hold the view that in our conversations about the futures that we need to imagine for us going forward as humanity, we need to look beyond capitalism. Then we want to go to alienation, all 4 levels of alienation, right? And then we go to the ability to bounce back. In the book, I call it bounce back ability, and the sharing of pain, living in 2 worlds, visual range, leadership dashboard, unstacking the deck, fractured mirrors, contested identities. And the last one, which will be on my birthday, will be reflection, deflection, and refraction. So that's the full set of topics that we're going to have for the spring series. I hope that it covers everything. It's all from my book here. Let me just put it out. It's all from I'm a Cross-Pollinator. Those who've read the book, it's available on Amazon, but some have the print version of the book. All these topics are here. So right in the book, but in the book, you'll find them presented in the form of a story, the story of Motofela and Kulufelo, which is a story, a multi-layered story about a cross-racial couple that navigates through a terrain that that crosses boundaries around questions about race, about gender, about history. In our historical coordinates here in South Africa, it looks at topics like women, executives, mentorship, coaching. It has a global trajectory because it takes you through what leadership looks like here in Africa, and in as far as mining and engineering is concerned, but it takes you to Southeast Asia, and then also takes you to South America as well for that executive development program that they were a part of in the story. So through the story, I'm able to present ideas and concepts that in a very subtle, very indirect kind of way, that in a way allows for discovery, as Dr. Alison Wybrow said when she finished reading the book. And in her review, she said she found this book to be very indirect and subtle in a way, totally different how it would be presented if these same principles were being presented from a westernized type of approach. For us here in Africa, how we teach and how we learn is a bit different because of the cultures and everything. So we are very indirect, and I know I'm generalizing, but in this book, that's the kind of feedback that I've had from Dr. Alison Wybrow and many other people as well, that the art of the story is that it allows discovery. You as the reader, you'll then have to discover for yourself what is it that resonates with you and how it works in your situation. So that's what we're hoping to do also here through this spring series of Cross-Pollination Tuesdays. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. And I'd like you to sign up, tell your friends, tell your friends' friends, tell your colleagues, tell everyone that you know about this whole thing that's coming up. And let's see how we can make it work, how we can connect with each other. We'll share and we'll make information available for those who want to take part in this. We'll make sure that it's available for everyone all the way through. And you guys can be able to access the information at any time that's convenient to you. That's why